Hey everyone, Mike here with the Sysadmin Guru. I was going to create another article to pick up where the last one left off with configuring the Cisco UCS Platform Emulator, but it just made more sense to make this a video so that you have exactly the same experience I have, so you can see exactly what I'm doing and not rely on me taking screenshots and pasting them into an article. If you have not set up the Cisco UCS emulator, please feel free to read my previous article on how to install it on ESXi server. Once you have everything installed and you browse to the VIP IP address that I showed you in the previous article, this is the screen that you'll see. You'll see over here on the left inventory. At the top you see the nice banner saying UCS Platform Emulator, and then in the right, majority of the screen you see the nice big blue screen that gives you a few buttons to press. So this is very similar to how everything is going to look. Now, my screen may look a little different depending on which firmware version that you're going to be emulating, but it should look fairly similar. On a real UCS, we will only see the kind of right column, the blue with the 4 buttons. We will not see the UCS Platform Emulator title at the top, and we will not see the inventory on the left column. So before we actually emulate the UCS, we have to make sure that we give it the hardware that it needs, or the emulated hardware. If we look at the inventory column over here on the left, we can see that we have one chassis, and that one chassis has 7 servers. Now, notice server 6 is missing, that's why it's 7, and this goes up to 8. Not sure why that did that, but that's the way it works. Under the fabric interconnects, you can see that we have 2. FIA and FIB. And this is the standard UCS setup that gives you redundancy between your fabric interconnects. But to be fully redundant, I want to add another chassis with 7 more servers to it. The way that we'll add this chassis is only done with a platform emulator. In a real environment, you would just plug the new chassis in and boom, you're ready to go. So to emulate another chassis, we're first going to click on equipment in the left column over here. And what you'll see is that gives us a list of all the equipment. You can see that we have the 2 fabric interconnects, we have the 1 chassis, and then we have the 7 servers that are all associated with chassis 1. So let's add another chassis first. To do that, we're going to click on the plus sign next to the chassis header. Pretty simple and straightforward. And we're going to just give this the name of chassis 2. And we want to be an exact copy of the other chassis, so we're going to choose the PID, or which is also kind of the serial number model number, of N20, and that is a chassis that can hold up to 8 blades. So once we do that, and this name has to be alphanumeric, no special characters or anything like that. Once we do that, we're going to simply click Add, and now you can see that our chassis has been added. Now, it's showing that it's unassigned, it's not inserted, it's removed. If I hover over this one says remove, this one says insert. Its current link status is disconnected, and we are able to delete it if we want to. So to get this chassis ready so that we can insert it and actually see it in the UCS Manager, we need to edit it. So we're going to click this little pencil icon here, it's the edit device. And what you'll see quickly is that we don't have any other items in our chassis. Now, if we go to chassis 1 here, you can see we have 7 servers, 2 I/O modules, 4 power supplies, yada, yada, yada. So for our chassis 4 here, we're showing nothing. So we need to fix that. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and let's go ahead and just add some power supplies. Now let's do the same power supplies because it's going to be the same one. So it's the N20 Pack 5. So come here, PSU, and we'll find the N20 Pack 5, this guy. So let's just drag this guy up. So we'll do 1, and we'll give him a slot of 1. And we'll do 2, slot of 2. 3, slot of 3. And 4. Now you can see, and before I type this, that I can enter slots 1 through 4. Those are my only options. I have a maximum of 4 slots. And the reason being is this particular chassis only has 4 slots in it for power supplies. So we'll go ahead and make that one 4. And now you can see we have our 4 power supplies. Great. So the next thing we need to do is we need to add our I/O modules. So we're going to come down here now to the IOM tab, click that guy, and we want to choose the UCS 2808XP 8-port I/O module. And that's this guy right here in the center. So, because this is exactly what this guy's using. If we go to here, you can see that he's using 2 I/O modules. So come back. Oops. There we go, come back. And we're going to go back to I/O modules, and we're going to choose this guy, and we're going to want 2 of them because we have 2 possible ports in the back of the chassis for these I/O modules. So this will be port 1, and we can actually do 1-2 if we want to add 2. So we'll do that, and there you go. Now we have 2 I/O modules that have been inserted. And you'll quickly see over here on the right that now we have all of these links. And because each I/O module has 8 ports, we have a possibility of up to 16 links to our fabric interconnects. 8 to one fabric interconnect and 8 to the other fabric interconnect. Now, in a real world environment, you're not going to necessarily have all these plugged in because the fabric interconnects for the most part are licensed by port. However, for our demo, there's no reason we can't connect all these, so we're going to. So we're literally just going to come up here and we're going to click this little button that says connect all links of this device. And then it's going to confirm for us and we'll say yes. And now it said it successfully connected all the links of the chassis. Now, the last thing we need to do is insert the chassis. And we can simply do that from this little insert button right here. So we'll click insert. It's going to confirm again for me. I'm going to say yes. And then it may take a minute. Excellent. So we've successfully launched an additional chassis with serial CH4. So that's what's showing here. Now if we come back to equipment, and now you can see that the chassis here has been added. You can see that it's got a UCS MID, the chassis is there, it's got a channel, it's been inserted, it's connected, and everything looks nice and happy. Now let's jump over to the UCS Manager real quick, and let's just check and see what this blade, if it's showing up. And boom, we don't even have to do anything. I didn't have to refresh this screen. The screen was already up. And we're already seeing chassis 2, which is awesome. And we're seeing that I'm on the FSM tab here. And we're already seeing that it's successfully been added. So we'll just come on back on up here. And this is actually what the chassis looks like. So when we talked before, I told you that there were 4 power supplies. These are the 4 power supplies down here at the bottom. The server can do 8 different blades, or it can do full width blades. So you can do 8 half width or 4 full width, or a mixture of the 2. And then the I/O modules that we added. So you can see this is an 8-port I/O module, and we've added 2 of them, one into each side of the chassis. And then back again to our power supplies. And these are each of our power supplies. So that's going to be all for this video. In the next video or article, depending on what I feel, probably a video, I'm going to be showing you more of this UCS Manager. Now that we've added the stuff that we need to add, I want to show you more of this UCS Manager and actually how you would configure it. What we're seeing here is what you would see in the real world. This is exactly what you would see in the real world, not just the emulator. So with that, I want to thank you for watching.